Hey everyone, like I said in the intro, we have a very special guest joining us today. He is the co-founder of Boss Rush Media, and he's the host of the Nintendo Pow Block and Optional Opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is the sensational, the magnificent, the one, the only, Eddie, the Nintendo Ninja Varnell. Eddie, how you doing today?
Hello, good sir. Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm so glad to be here. Oh, this is exciting.
Glad to have you here, man. I like the energy. You came in, you sounded like almost like Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles.
You want to know what? It's so weird. When I'm at work and I talk to different people, they still think I'm from Africa or Brazil. I'm like from the hood in the city. I'm nowhere near that. But I'm so happy to be here. It's been a while since I got to guest on somebody's podcast. So I'm just so happy and very thankful to be here.
Man, I can understand why you doing so many podcasts on your own, so to speak. I'm like over there at Boss Rush, y'all, you doing like what, like three at the moment?
I am doing, yeah. So yes, Power Block, Talk the Walk. I do breaking it, not breaking Nintendo. Um, not Nintendo Power Block. Expansion Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Shows 1v1s. Like I do a lot for Boss Rush. When it comes to the podcast, and if there's anyone that needs filling in and I'm available, I try to fill that.
So it's safe to say if the Boss Rush had their Justice League, you'd either be the Flash or their Superman, right?
Yes, I would
Okay.
probably be. Yeah, I would probably be. Uh, Flash. I think I would be the Flash
I
with
like
that.
that. I like that. Are you excited for the Flash movie coming up?
I am not, to
I
be
understand
honest
that
with
too.
you. Um, it- it- and I have nothing against Ezra Miller, but I kind of fallen out of the Flash like a TV series and stuff. I love his animated movies. I love the DC animated movies of the Flash. But this one, I think I'm gonna wait for it to come like on Blu-ray, and I'll
Hmm.
just pick it up, put it in, get a piece of something to drink, and then watch it in the comfort of my own home.
Okay, I feel you. I feel you. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the people who might not know you, Eddie, can you give the audience a little taste? Who is Eddie V?
Well, I am uh from North Chicago, Illinois. I host a podcast, Nintendo Pop Block, where we talk all things Nintendo. I'm also part of our writing team for Boss Rush Media, where we write banters, news stories, how to. So if you like need to know how to set up 4K for your Xbox and stuff, we have things written there. I write editorials also. I also like I said earlier, do expansion pass, ranking Nintendo. We just literally got done ranking our Nintendo, and our last one is the Nintendo Switch. So we did that, and just uh, just a great gamer all around. I do play PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo. Uh, like I said, all three consoles. So, and I love food. I normally we on our Nintendo Power Block we call Snack Tendo,
Hmm.
and we talk about different foods that we eating throughout the week. New foods. I'm always out looking for new snacks to give a review and everything. Yes, I do eat healthy, everybody. I do drink water, eat vegetables and stuff like that. Fried rice is my favorite with along with sushi and everything. And I'm just a down to earth guy and everything. So if anyone needs to fill it in for a podcast, whether it be for gaming, movies, whatever, I'm down for it. And so that's little old me.
Eddie V, you're amazing, and I'm so glad to have you on the show. But that's it. How dare you lie to these people like that? It's saying you eat healthy. You know,
Dude.
you during our introduction, I was a guest. By the way, everyone, I was a guest on this man's show, and he introduced all kinds of craziness into my life. But for one reason, it's because like I had never known that Pepsi made a Peeps soda.
Yeah, Peeps Pepsi.
Peeps Pepsi, what sounds like diabetes in a bottle, and you introduced that to my life, eating healthy.
I had to try it. It's for the the thing about it, when people see new foods like that, they'll tag me and be like, "I cannot wait for your review,"
Mhm.
and I'll go out and find it. So I see the Peeps Pepsi, and like I said, I love the look of the bottle, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to give this one a try. I have tried, like I told you, Sebastian, I have tried the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew. That was an experience, and I was just gonna leave it at that. So
Okay,
trying this Peach Pepsi, it's really good. I think a lot of people have that idea of this is how Peeps taste, but actually this year he's been doing very well as the Easter candy. It's really been selling out this year. So seeing that with Pepsi, I'm like, I'll give this one a try. I even bought it for a few associates because they were so worried for it. I'm like, no, I'll spend the money and I'll drink one along with them, and they've been enjoying it and everything.
I
Now,
feel you.
we're trying to get it out our store because once Easter is over, it's the that stuff would sit for a long time. I'm like, yep, we got to get this out the store and everything.
I feel you. I feel you. So, how like do you eat Peeps by themselves or you just drink the soda?
So I do eat peeps, but I only eat them like on Easter. I don't
Okay.
eat it as a regular candy or something. If they're like a new kind of peeps, is like a new kind of flavor peeps, I normally try that. Uh, and see how they are. I'm kind of like a Cadbury egg kind of guy.
I feel you.
Uh, when it comes to like Easter candy and stuff.
All right, so these people have gotten to know you over the course of our little interview here. We know you like all kinds of different foods. We know how you like to dress now. So
Yes.
let's talk about the topic of the show, or at least the subtopic. We were talking beforehand. You and I were DMing one another and coming up with the show idea for this one. And I wanted to, before we get to that topic, I want to give a video game recommendation to people because what people don't know is like you are knee deep in Nintendo games,
Yes.
like solidly knee deep in Nintendo games. So, what game, Switch game in general, would you recommend that people need to check out?
So there's a game on Switch called Just Shapes and Beats. And
Okay,
Just Shapes and Beats is a game where you control this little square, and the music is going to help you get through the trials of it. It's like a house slash dance slash trance kind of game. So, what your goal is, you gotta dash do different things. Some people who don't know this, that it does use real life DJs who have put songs into it and everything. Uh, and also they got Shovel Knight's music in there. So you could be like regular shovel music, but then you'll get like a house dance kind of track, and it's so good. Like you dashing around, moving, and you have to pay attention. You are a blue square, and your background is black, where the enemies that coming out to you is pink. So it breaks it down in stages. So you'll go through three phases, and if you die on it, you'll go back to the start of that last phase. So if you died on the third phase when you got close to the end, you'll start back to the third. If you do a boss though, you have to do the whole 3 minute track without dying.
no,
If you die, you go all the way back to the beginning and start it all over. It's such a great game on Switch. It's something that you can put your Bluetooth headset on or make it through your surround system. Like it is a really great game just listening to these tracks. So Just Shapes and Beats, I recommend everybody to give that game a try. It is an older game, but man, the music is still banging. And of course, if you guys are if it's a Friday night or it's a or you just driving around on a weekend, get the track list, put it on, and just like literally dance, bang out to it, drive around, barbecue, whatever that you guys are doing. The soundtrack to Just Shapes and Beats is so good, and the gameplay is chef's kiss.
I like that. I like that. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the Nintendo recommendation for this episode. So now that we got that out of the way, I got one last icebreaker question before you. If Kirby absorbed you, what kind of powers would it get?
if Kirby absorbed, I feel like we had this question.
Yeah,
If he
we had it. I gave people a
oh
little preview on your show of
oh
a
that
question
is
I was
right.
gonna ask. Yeah.
Um, if he absorbed me, I think he would definitely be able to write songs and do a lot of singing and everything, do harmonies and stuff like that, just like vocal arrangements, and stuff. So he would have like a music ability to him and everything.
Okay.
Whether he sings someone to sleep or does a song to calm somebody that's in anger or something, he would have that ability from me.
Okay. Okay. And which Kirby game would you want to have this ability in?
Which Kirby game? Um, I ooh, actually, you know what? I think I would have this get Kirby game and the Forgotten Lands, Kirby and the
Hmm.
Forgotten Lands. Because Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is great, but because it's so much claymation and you have to move the stylus and everything, you wouldn't be able to get to see it on screen because you have to see the other screen. And like, I don't think music kind of works in claymation sometimes. I know there are videos done in claymation and some are good, but I'm like, doing it as a video game, that's just something like it takes you out of it. And everything. So I would say Kirby and the Forgotten Lands.
Do you think that's the best Kirby game of all time?
Yes.
I think so too. I absolutely think so too. I don't think it's even close, to be honest.
Yeah, because it starts you off easy, but then it ramps up, and then it just offers so much different gameplay
Mhm.
ideas that you have never seen in other Kirby's. The ending is straight Dragon Ball Z nonsense, and it's so hilarious. It's just like y'all went off the deep end with this, but they Nintendo did it so well and
Mhm.
everything. And it's just like, oh, this is my Nintendo game of the year. Like it's already only March, like or February, and that game was just so amazing. So yeah, I would say that's the best Kirby game.
So, what's your Nintendo game of the year so far?
Oh man, my Nintendo game of the year is definitely Metroid Prime Remastered. Like
Okay.
I'm loving Octopath Traveler 2, but man, I didn't know how cheap they would make this game. And it running at 60 frames per second. And just like I haven't had no problems. Like it really feels like the GameCube, but yet it still works in this modern age of gaming.
That makes complete sense. So, do you think that's going to stay your Nintendo game of the year for the rest of the year?
So it's hard. And because of course, Tears of the Kingdom is dropping.
Mhm.
Uh we got Pikmin 4 dropping, Advance Wars dropping. Like, just from Nintendo alone, there's a lot, but then there's level 5 that's coming out. Ghost Trick by Capcom is coming out. Like, there's a lot of stuff that just through this half year, it's gonna make me question, it's gonna make me be like, okay, I could already write 50 games, but what is going to be my game? Like that's going to be the hardest part and everything. And then we don't even know the other half. Like Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, that game, just the demo alone, I'm almost ready to give it a Game of the Year nomination.
Wow. Yeah. So, did you like it better than Bayonetta 3?
Um, so I need to finish more Bayonetta 3.
Mhm.
I do enjoy Origins and everything. So I really can't judge it on that until I finish Bayonetta 3. But I would say this. This Bayonetta Origins, just the demo alone, has that Nintendo flair with its soundtrack. And it was just like, oh, I don't know who did the music for this. I need to find out. But this is only for Nintendo and from Nintendo
Mhm.
because you won't hear this music in anything else. So like right now it's really just up in the air. Like I can't wait to play Advance Wars. Of course, like I said, Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin, and who knows, we may get another Paper Mario, we may get another Yoshi. Like we may get a lot of stuff that we don't even know what Nintendo has up their sleeves and stuff. Like even Fire Emblem Engage, like I'm ready to put that as a game. Like I already put it as a game of the year nomination for me because I was just like, this game shouldn't be this good. Like I
Mhm.
love the animation and I love the music, but good night, this just feels so tight and just right.
I feel you. I feel you. I think it'll be interesting because like I have a feeling this is you can disagree with me wholeheartedly, but like I have a feeling that Nintendo's going to get one real game of the year nomination because like I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is going to overshadow a lot of the other stuff, and the other stuff is kind of going to kind of like not necessarily be bad by any means. I think it's just going to kind of like they're all kind of going to be fighting one another for like
Mhm.
for attention, whereas like we got a lot of other like third party studios and even like Sony and Microsoft bringing the heat this year. It's like for Nintendo, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is going to stand out. I have a hard time thinking that any of the other games are going to really stand out outside of the core audience that are going to want to play those games, you know?
It's a natural thing when it comes to awards and everything. Nintendo always like what's the family game and stuff. But it was just like to me, people said Nintendo doesn't have games. And I tell people you need to restate that Nintendo has games. They just don't have games that you decide that you don't want to get into or try and stuff. And the thing about it is, if Nintendo doesn't have games, how come their stuff is in the millions?
Yeah.
Like, don't forget, this is a game that's on one platform and it's doing 3 million.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know,
Mhm.
so like you can't say that it doesn't have games. It's just games that you prefer not to play and everything. So,
Yeah.
and I'm speaking to you, everything. But it's just like that statement. I'm ready to write about that statement
Mhm.
that Nintendo doesn't have games. And it's just like no, Nintendo has games because the thing about it is that even if your big game is coming out, how the heck is people still playing Fire Emblem Awakening or Fire Emblem Three Houses? Like you have a big AAA game, but people are always going back to Nintendo. And you're a Sony and Microsoft player. So if you're not playing the games that you are supposed to be champion or got this big revelation and everything, why why did you go back to Nintendo to play a Nintendo game?
Yeah, that's true. I think there's always that Nintendo lusters, like that Nintendo like I guess you say sparkle in their
Mm.
games to where like you almost know what a Nintendo game is going to be because of that Nintendo magic. It's not like there's so many different types of Nintendo games, but like you always kind of like it's like comfort food, so to speak. It's almost like it's nostalgia mixed in with comfort, mixed in with quality, and I feel like you're going to expect a polished game, you're going to expect a finished product for one thing, and you're going to expect a product that is going to make you not going to make you feel happy. It's an enjoyable experience where it's like it's not The Last of Us where you walk away and you're like, "Oh my goodness, I'm thinking a lot, but like I don't necessarily know if I'm happy at the end of that game." Whereas like we were talking about Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, you just happy playing that game, you know?
I kind of put games sometimes in four categories. I'll
Mhm.
put it a Nintendo game, a Microsoft game, a Sony game, and then a trade-in slash used game.
This is traded slash used game.
Because the thing because actually if you back in the day if you would even probably a couple of years ago if you look at it went into a GameStop how many copies of a first party Microsoft and Sony game was traded in compared to a copy of a Nintendo game? You know good and well. If you trade in that Nintendo game, yeah, you might get some money and trading credits. So you can buy some of the other bigger stuff, but don't have the regret when down the line you cannot find that game again in this and you know you want the physical, you don't want to buy it on the eShop or stuff, and you can't find that game, you're gonna be looking online and seeing that game 3 to 4 times the price. Where you can still walk into GameStop and probably find 2018's God of War or even the latest God of War for like $14.99.
Yeah,
So so you tell me what is the quality of our first party? Oh, sorry, didn't mean.
No, you're good. You're good. I think there is a legit argument there, but it's also like Nintendo protects its MSRPs because like
Mhm.
you never see a first party game, especially a Nintendo game, go down below like $40, 40 like that. It's like they don't do that. They absolutely don't do that. Like
And and the thing we had me and Corey had that discussion. I'm like, I know they don't drop their prices, but Activision does the same thing. The early Call of Duties, Modern Warfare 2 didn't drop past 60 until maybe to almost Black Ops 3 or Black
that
Ops 4.
they usually
Like,
wait till like the next game is about to approach before they hit a real discount.
and it doesn't even hit a discount then. It's still like $40.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a little different because like Breath of the Wild right
Uh,
now is like 6 years later, it's still like right now in the eShop 59.99, and then right now at
yes.
GameStop it's like 46. So I'm like,
Yes.
it's one of those things to where I'm like, Nintendo does like protect their MSRP and they kind of like price those markers and they never really give you a hardcore discount. It has to be from like a third party Nintendo published game. It's like you'll see Mario Sparks, Mario Rabbids, and all that kind of stuff go on a discount because that's Ubisoft. That's not Nintendo. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize is that it's always up to the company on how they want to what they want to do with the pricing of it. I know Nintendo gets this bad rap and stuff, but the thing about it is, it's just like of Microsoft when Microsoft or Sony does it, nothing gets said about it until like way later down the line. But you got to realize that, yeah, it's 6 years old and it's still holding at that price. But I'm like, if Elden Ring was doing it, y'all would still buy it.
I think the market dictates is like people are gonna buy it regardless. And so
Hmm.
Nintendo's of that mindset, like, yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that price point. I mean, they're still gonna buy it. Whereas like Elden Ring, they're like, at this point, we're a third party. We're going to dictate that, like we sold what 20 million copies of Elden Ring. We're gonna like put it at a discounted $30 rate because it's been a year and some change since this game has come out. So it's like I think there are two different philosophies, like you were mentioning, and it's kind of interesting to see how companies go about their business. I think it's almost like that different strokes for different folks kind of scenario,
Hmm. Yeah.
but it is like it's very interesting. I want to switch gears here, because like our topic of the show today, we're doing the Mount Rushmore games of the Nintendo Switch lifetime. So here, like I know we talked about this, but I want to give the audience and you a reminder of like let's set some parameters here. Like I think it's fair to say let's not do games that are essentially ports. So if it's a port where it's like, let's not do that. Whereas like, I think Super Smash Brothers Ultimate counts. It can be considered on there. Like
Mm.
Mario Deluxe is technically a port, but it's the leading game for Switch, so we'll count it. And they're adding new stuff for it, so we'll count it as a new game. But like anything else, like Metroid right now, it's just a port. Let's not like this game really needs to originate on the like on the Nintendo Switch. But that said, Mount Rushmore, you got four heads on that mountain. I want to start with you, Eddie. Do you have your Mount Rushmore ready to go?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay, so
So,
give me the four and then tell me your logic behind each one.
okay. So uh, my four is Yoshi's Crafted World,
Wow.
Metroid Dread,
Okay.
uh, um, goodness, Damon X Machina,
Okay.
and what was my? Hold on, I'm sorry. Collection of Mana. That was it. Collection of Mana.
So yeah, so I think your four is based on not necessarily the most iconic. It's based on which are the four favorites for you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So all right. So I want to hear why these four games are your favorite Nintendo Switch games.
Okay. So I'm going to start with Collection of Mana.
Okay.
Uh, this is my favorite because this is from Setsu, I probably said it wrong, games. Um, uh, Trials of Mana, Secret of Mana, and I think it was Final Fantasy Chronicles. I think was the first one. It was like a game of one. But this connection I like because Secret of Mana is one of the games. It's I don't consider it as a port or anything,
Mhm.
because it did come out to uh the Super Nintendo. But this game was supposed to be for the Super Nintendo CD
Mhm.
back in 1994. And that's for people who don't know, that was going to be Super Nintendo's PlayStation when it came out. But because the plans got canceled, they had to put the whole game on a cartridge. And it has been years since that game came out, unless you had a Wii and everything. But the reason why this game is my favorite because Trials of Mana, which is Secret of Mana 3, got canceled for America. It never came out to us. So yeah, there is a remake and everything, but the original version was on track because it got localized, it was ready to come out, and they never released it. And I never got a chance to play it. So sadness has fallen upon me. But this collection came out. It was only $20 when I got it. Thank you, Best Buy and Black Friday. Uh, and I got to relive Secret of Mana, and I got to try Trials of Mana, and it was just like, man, this takes me back in my high school days when I was playing just RPGs like this and grinding and find a tiger or finding this enemy and stuff and just getting so getting into these stories of these characters because the ending to Secret of Mana is such a tearjerker. I'm just like, oh, but it is on such a good note and everything. So that
Okay.
was Secret of Mana.
All right. So Metroid Dread. What's the explanation there?
This game, how in the heck do you make a horror game, a theater game, an action game, and make it hard as ever when you fight the final boss? It makes you work for everything. Beautiful level design. The backgrounds are just so gorgeous to look at. I love sometimes you go into the train and you're riding through and you see the waves and the water and the rain hitting and everything. And it was just like, how did Mercury's system, uh, how were they able to take this game, make it feel like Team Ninja did it, but it's actually not Team Ninja.
Hmm.
It's actually this. It's just the story stuff, getting more Samus in like Samus story uh with her with the guy with the final boss and I cannot think of why can I not think of it? Uh
Of the
uh
final boss in Metroid Dread.
Not Dread, the clan that she came from, that she was trained with. Uh,
Um,
I cannot think of it. Uh
Samus's clan.
yeah,
Is it Thoa?
it may be the Chozo. That's what
Chozo.
it
Thank
is.
you. Thank you.
Chozo. I could not think of it. Sorry, everybody. Uh, uh, from the Chozo, and just getting to certain parts where she's learning more of the story, and just fighting, just like the hide and seek and everything, and the counterattacks. It's a game that everybody fell in love, that reignited the Metroid series, and it also made David Jaffe look like a fool.
For not putting it out like that.
Well, I mean, people were upset with him. It's just like, have you not played a Metroid? In fact, you made a Metroid game where you made God of War, and so you put stuff in here in your game that's been in a Metroid game,
Hmm.
and it was just like he gave up, crap on the game. I mean, he said that, it's fine looking and all of that, but he crept on the game so bad. And it was just like, it got people saying, how in the world do you not see the visual clues that is on the screen? Like, it's telling you what to do and where to go. And it was just such a big mess
Hmm.
that to think that people just he got his 15 minutes of frame with this controversy, and then he faded back into the background. He faded away into the background because no one talks about David Jaffe, or they don't talk about his work or anything. Like when you speak of God of War, now you think of Corey Barlow. You don't even talk about David Jaffe. So Metroid Dread, it got a lot of people into the series. It actually did Wii U good numbers because people started buying all the games on Wii U. So there
Hmm.
was a 300% jump for Metroid. And it's just such a lovely game and everything. Just the hype for it. And then the amiibo is so nice to look at. Oh, it's so good. Like people went out and bought the amiibo. I pre-ordered the amiibo when I pre-ordered Dread.
So
And
are you
so
an amiibo person?
yes, I am.
Hmm.
So um yeah, I just like Metro Dread is up there, and a lot of people feel like that game got robbed, but it was the Game Awards. I'm like Metro Dread should be up there. Even with all the unanimous like votes and love. I mean, I wouldn't say unanimous. With all the love it sells, like 3 million for a Metroid game, that's good,
That's really
and
good.
I'm like, and don't forget, Japan doesn't like the Metroid series, but it did numbers there. So it really just showed like, man, this game came at the right time, and people could not stop talking about it. And I know that someone made it available to pirate it on PC, but a lot of fans or just a lot of gamers just like, do not do that. Do not download it illegally on PC. Literally go out and buy the game.
Yeah, for sure. Support the devs. Support the team that made this. I want to ask you because you have a couple of surprising ones in addition to that. Why Yoshi's Crafted World
Oh,
over Mario Odyssey?
oh my goodness. Yoshi's Craft World it's such a beautiful and well designed game. Yes, they took arts and craft, but they got some levels in there that is fun, very thoughtful. Like you know how like if you think of a pond or like like in the south, like in the woods,
Hmm.
how they have like a creek and everything. They did a level in a bathtub, and it's one of the most funniest yet creative things. And I'm just like, why am I on a tube floating in a bathtub with all this craft and everything? And it's just, I did a review for it that I wrote for Boss Rush, and
Hmm.
I had to do every level, and I just ended up laughing. Great boss fights. Music is so good. And I love the fact that if you want to do it from right to left, you can. Like they switch in reverse because there's some secrets that you don't know about and everything. Um, it's very challenging. Like it may be easy for some people, but once again, this is the Dark Souls of Nintendo games.
What?
Because yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. You try to 100% a Yoshi game, you're going to lose your mind on how difficult and how hard it is. Because you got to do everything perfect from beginning to end. You cannot get touched with anything. You gotta find all the secrets. So instead of you thinking that you could just speed run this game, you cannot.
Okay, I feel
And
you.
it's this Mario in this game, when people say that it's baby, this only baby because they're not trying to collect everything. You try to collect everything and it becomes a nightmare. It becomes challenging. It's not on the level of Ghosts and Goblins. but it's challenging enough to be like, why in the world did I miss that coin or I missed that plant and it ruined my ending? Now I got to do everything again,
Okay, okay, I feel
you
you.
know.
So I gotta ask
So,
you, you got one more game that you brought up. We went over Yoshi's Crafted World, Metroid Dread, Collection of Mana. Let's talk about the last game on your list. Why did this make the cut?
mm, what game was it? I forgot.
You forgot your own Mount Rushmore, huh?
I did. Uh,
For
Goodness.
shame.
Oh,
Shame.
oh, oh, goodness. What was it? I apologize, everybody.
It's all good. It's all good. What are your four favorite Nintendo games on the Nintendo
uh,
Switch?
I know Link's Awakening is very good on there.
Uh-huh. You
Uh,
did not mention Link's Awakening. You didn't
didn't
mention a
mention.
Zelda game.
Yes, I didn't mention the Zelda game because that's too cliche.
That's too cliche. Okay.
Damn Ex Machina. That's
There
it.
you
I'm
go.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, everybody. Uh, Damon Ex Machina. Uh, this game is so people who don't know, Demon X Machina comes from different people in the anime and gaming sphere. If you remember Armored Core, it's from one of the developers from there, one of the creators from there. I think Robotech, one of the animators from Robotech, or it may be Robotech or Gundam, but they came. Like all these people who have made mecha games came to make came to make this beautiful also game. When you watch the trailer, it is so smooth. It is like jaw dropping, and the customization is just like really great. When you see it, like different colors and everything. And I played this game and I was just like, why is this game running this way on the Switch? Why is it so smooth? I mean, it has some frame rate hiccups here and there, and I know it's on PC, but it was just like this banging rock soundtrack. I
Mm-hmm.
love these long period fights. I love just sliding and gliding around and everything. And it was just like we don't see mech games in America anymore because Armored Core was and Virtual On also they were the mech games, but they got ignored. They
Yeah.
literally got ignored. So to see someone from Armored Core, someone from Robotech, someone from this studio come together and make from the ground up a pure mech game for America, and it looks not only stylish but it plays so well. I I I seen the trailer at E3 and I was just like, this is my game of E3. It was the
Oh wow.
first trailer. It was the first trailer of the Nintendo Direct, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, "This is my game of the year." Like, I mean, game of
A
the
game of the
E3.
show. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it was just like I've never seen anything in the way that it was just cut and everything. So yeah, and then it was really hard to find because uh you had to pre-order it at one point, but luckily I just found a copy at Best Buy and brought it. Now, anyone who's trying to buy a physical copy of the game, you can't find it nowhere. And I think if I may have to look like on eBay and stuff on see if anyone is selling a copy and stuff. I bet you it's probably about 90 plus some dollars.
um
Like, go
So
ahead.
what is it like living in your world where you're still like a hardcore physical media person? Like, does it like how do you go about knowing like I want to play a game, but I'm gonna wait until I find it physical, you know?
So I do digital stuff. I think the thing about it is that the problem that I have with digital is the limitation of space.
Okay.
Because you got to keep moving games and stuff around. And I
Hmm.
think with physical, if I know that if I pop it in, it will start definitely on the Nintendo platform.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
and then I know everybody likes the digital age and everything, and but I'm like, you got to keep extending the memory if you're keep buying digital games. And I feel like I don't have to do that much with physical. Yes, there are updates. Yes, there is some stuff that, uh, like if there are some things on the cartridge that you gotta make space for and everything. But like for Switch, like I put the cartridge in, it installs, like do some whatever updates it needs to do. That's real quick. It's not too big of memory, and I can start playing my game. You
Hmm.
know, um, for a lot of people, with digital, we know that if anything happens to a digital store, we still have that backup by having that physical and
That's true.
everything. And with Switch, we will double dip. You know, we will buy the
Digital
digital
version.
version. Right, but like the physical might come with a soundtrack. It may come with like instruction guides. Like it may come with something, and if it don't, we'll still have it. So in case if I want to take that game off my system or it's stuck in the cloud and I can't play it, I can still put my cartridge in and play it there.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So I'm gonna give you my favorite four games for the Nintendo Switch, and then I think we're gonna do an exercise where we talk about the four most iconic games, the games that define the Nintendo Switch generation. We'll call
Okay.
it our Mount Rushmore, so to speak. So my Mount Rushmore, my four favorite games of Nintendo Switch generation has been Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm going to go probably with a game, and people who've heard this podcast before know I'm going to have to eat a lot of bad kind of vibes for even bringing this up, but it's been one of my favorite times with the Switch, and that's Pokemon Violet and Pokemon Scarlet, because I talked very much bad about how that game ran, but um and I think the last but not least game might be, it's not my favorite game of all time by any means, but I think it's gonna be Breath of the Wild. I think it is gonna be Breath of
Okay.
the Wild. Yeah, so those are probably my four favorites. What do you think of that list?
Um, I think that's a strong list. I probably would take Breath of the Wild out.
Mhm,
Uh, and it's more of a challenge
mhm.
of making that list. Because like I think Breath of the Wild is so safe right now. We know it's on everybody's list. Like there's no way that you could deny it. Smash Bros. Ultimate, such a great game. But I would also take that off the list. Because it's once again it's such a safe bet and
Y
everything. Not saying that your list is wrong and
No,
everything,
no,
because
I completely understand. I think you're what you're getting at here is like that there is a almost like a you kinda like the underdogs. You kinda want to give, like, some love to the almost the unspoken champions of the Nintendo Switch versus, and, yeah, I completely respect that.
yeah, I mean, sometimes there are just Nintendo games that just are answers, like
Mhm.
set answers and stuff. But I think when you wanna do a list, sometimes you gotta go to some places that's unexpected and everything.
That makes sense.
And so that's why I say Crack the World, because I know it's not a game that a lot of people didn't play. But I'm like, if you hear the excitement in my voice, you will understand why I love it, why people should give it a try. I love Paper Mario, the Origami King. I had to keep it off this list because I know people don't like the combat, but I'm like, if you stick with the combat and with the puzzle element, you will find an innovative and joyful game. I kind of like this game more than Thousand Year Door when it comes to
Wow.
Paper Mario, and that's a big thing to say. I paused the game and laughed like 15 minutes before I was about to end the game because I was in Bowser's castle, and I won't explain the shot.
Mhm,
I won't give it away, but there was a shot that Mario goes in and there's all the enemies. They're just like having lunch partying, and
mhm.
then they stop. They all look at Mario and it's like, dude, dude, dude. I paused the game and fell out laughing for 15 minutes because the way that the enemies was looking at Mario, they was just like, what the
Whoa.
world is he doing in
Mhm.
here? And then Mario's just like, uh-oh, what the world did I get into? And I'm like, I know they about to chase him around this castle and fight him. But the animation, the way that it was done was so funny. It's cliche. It's so funny the way that it was done. All I could do was just fall out and laugh. The writing is so good in Paper Mario and Origami King. Look, my team, my boss rush got on me because they were just like, why would you pick a game like this? I'm like, because you guys did not play this game to understand why my love for this game is so big
So, do
and
you feel
everything.
so, at Boss Rush, oftentimes you're almost on the outside looking in when it comes to like opinions. Do you feel like a lot of the times you kind of like champion the underdog, so to speak, or you're sort of like the black sheep of opinions over there?
So I am the hot taker.
The
Like
hot
all my
taker.
like all my takes are hot. And then I think it's because for and I try not to make people upset, and if I do, I always apologize. I think it's because I play so much, and if I know the history of a series or a company and how I look at people who are playing certain games and stuff, I try to address that and be like, that's why we went on Power Block. We had that discussion about Spider Man, and I
Mhm.
was just like, my thing is, I just don't want people to act brand new to something that's been out there. Like you just can't fall. Sometimes you just can't fall in love with something because it comes from this developer or this game is great. When there is a history of stuff that's been out, whether it's good or bad. That's why I explained with Metroid Dread. People went to go through that whole history when Breath of the Wild came out, during that time, even though as Zelda being a big game, they were getting their kids to play Wind Waker as their first Legend of Zelda. People went back and started playing all the past work that has become for a series that's been anticipated or something that they love. You know,
Mhm.
people who are new to the Mega Man series, there's 10 whole games, but the first three is like a must play if you want to know the history of Mega Man. So it's just like I think with me, it's just like I know this series. I have played it or have read about it. It may not be my cup of tea, but I followed this series and the fans and everything. And so when it comes to Nintendo and games on Nintendo from them, like if you don't know sometimes the history of the game and everything, or if that game is out and why I love it, I do my best to explain it.
That makes sense.
Some people, you know, some people might think I'm wrong for it, but I'm just like, I have played this game, and this is the reason why I enjoy it. I invite you because I always tell people, if you play what I play, I will play what you play.
Yeah, that's true. I like your
So,
open-mindedness there. It sounds like you always look at a game with, a positive outlook, and I admire that. Yeah.
besides Grand Theft Auto, that
That's the one kink in the armor of positivity for you. I feel you.
I I will always just
I feel you. I feel you. So let me ask you. I want to do a little exercise here. How about we take turns? We pick out four. We pick a total of four, and we're gonna call this the Mount Rushmore of Nintendo Switch games. And
okay.
so you're gonna go first. You're gonna give us the number one draft pick, and this is the challenge here is to pick a game that you think embodies everything that this generation of console had to offer. So it can be the most popular, it can be like the best, or it can be like the most innovative, anything you feel like makes it feel like it's iconic to where it's probably going to be remembered by Nintendo players for the rest of time.
So, uh, for me,
Mhm.
uh, I am going to say, and I already know, it's going to be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Okay, that makes
Like,
sense.
like it's at 56 million copies of the
Mhm.
game. The Switch is already at 122 systems. That's one fourth, or no, not one fourth.
About
Yeah, that's
half.
about
Mhm.
yeah, and that is attachment rate to the Switch. And I know we got the DLC and stuff coming out, but like it was the top. Not only was it, I know it's support and stuff, but it has everything that was on the Wii U version, and then they're adding more stuff to it. It's been in the NPD since the day it's been
Mhm.
released. in April of 2017. Me and Corey, we just did a Breaking Nintendo, and we was talking about not Breaking Nintendo. I'm sorry, charting the course where we should look at the sales chart, and we was talking about how it was doing in Japan. It's around like the number 3 or number 4. That game is still selling. Whether it's
Yeah.
and these and to let everybody know, this is physical copies. This is not including any of digital sales. This is literally physical copies. 56 million, once again, on one platform.
Yeah, that's
This
crazy.
is not this is not Call of Duty. This is not Grand Theft Auto. That's just it's a game that's on every platform. No, this is one game. Every time a Switch is bought, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is attached to it.
Yeah, that's impressive. I like that. I like that. I think for my first draft pick for the number 2 spot on our ultimate list, I am going to go with Animal Crossing's New Horizons.
Yep.
And yeah, I think this is a game because a lot of the Switch is going to be embodied by the pandemic as well, and this is a game that kind of like was like the game of the pandemic, the game that if you had a Switch, you were probably playing this during the pandemic. You know,
There's two, but I'll
uh,
let you finish.
yeah, and but I feel like this is the first time I think that Animal Crossing became mainstream, that everyone was playing Animal Crossing, and I think that's what makes this game iconic.
Yes. Which brings to my second game, Ring Fit.
Ring Fit Adventure. Oh, I like that. I like that.
Bec- the way that because when the pandemic happened and the gyms were closed, people were ordering and you couldn't find this game at Target and Best. You couldn't find this game for a long time. And people are still playing that game, losing weight and building muscle and everything. Ring Fit just out of nowhere and yeah, thanks to the pandemic, it has become such a big game that people were playing it and everything. So Ring Fit is my number 2. Now y'all gonna be surprised by my number 2 though.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I think for the number 2 draft pick on my side of the fence, I'm going to go with Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah, I think enough said. I think this is the best Mario game that we've gotten since Mario 64, if I'm being honest.
I
3D.
will. I would disagree with you with that.
Oh, on the 3D scale, you think there's a better 3D Mario game?
Yeah.
And let me guess, it's Mario Galaxy 1.
Nope.
2? Mario Galaxy 2?
Nope.
You are kidding me. You're going Sunshine?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. So I got Mario 64, I got Sunshine, I got that. I'm missing one. Which one am I missing? Oh, you're picking Mario 3D World. Yeah, you're
That's
thinking
it.
Mario 3D World. I think that's a good one as well. Yeah.
Great level design, great music. Sunshine is second for me.
Wow.
Odyssey is third. Sunshine is so because I bought it on GameCube. I still got my GameCube version. And once again, that music, that level design, that it really felt like an arcade game that should have been on the Dreamcast, but yet it's not. And it's just so good and it's so creative. Yeah, I understand there's a lot of water is the main thing. Of course, you're on an island with a lot of water, but just the level design. And once again, when you're trying to 100% it, when you have to go, when you have to do a 3D world without your pump, good luck.
Yeah, you're a man of hot takes. Mario Sunshine of the Odyssey. You're a man of hot takes. I like that though. I like that. Okay, so what's your next pick?
Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Wow. Okay, I respect that one.
Everybody who wanted a mature story, everybody who wanted something deep from Nintendo, Monolith Soft gave them everything and more. It's on the level of Breath of the Wild where no one spilled anything. Like they didn't spoil anything. The music is probably this is probably number one to this very day Nintendo's best music on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh
Like
wow.
the soundtrack is phenomenal. The cutscenes are like are so done so well. The voice acting is amazing. It's everything. There are parts that will there are parts that made people cry on here. Jaw dropping. Like like everybody's just like you have to experience chapter 4. You have to experience chapter 5. You gotta experience this and experience that. And didn't reveal anything. And when you go through it, you're like, what? It's it's probably deeper than any first party Microsoft and Sony game ever. If you think The Last of Us is a deep story, play Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
You are full of hot takes today, man. You are full of them. I like it. I like it.
I bet I how many people talked about The Last of Us Part 2 story compared to what they talked about with Xenoblade Chronicles 3? You would still see more reactions. If you brought a conversation for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you're going to probably have a lot of people talking about it who played the game.
Okay, okay.
If you literally bring up the Last of Us Part 2, you'll get more about the controversy and of the leaks and stuff more than you will do about the story of that game. No shade to Sony, no shade to Naughty Dog. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3 story, just the story alone, gameplay and music to the side, that story alone will make people just like, oh, you was at this. What did you feel? How did you can you believe this character? You see how this animation was done, how they you would have people wanted to talk to you in a private session because they still to this very day don't want to spoil anything about the story online.
I think that's a hot take still, but I like it. I like it. I'll have to. I didn't give Xenoblade 3 enough of a shot. I think I'm gonna go back and play
You
it.
you got to stick with it. I know there's a lot of side quests and all here and there and everything, but I'm like everybody, if you want a cinematic experience, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 have it. Like I said, chapter 4 and chapter 5, that those two chapters alone when it comes to story should have made that game one game of the year
No,
from at the Game
whoa,
Awards.
whoa, 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 whoa! Of a God of War and
I've
Elden.
over God of War or over Elden Ring. You if you watch what's going on, I mean with the battles and everything, you watch everything that's going on, you would be like, what? Wait, what? Hold on, wait, what? And or you would just be straight out silent and everything.
Eddie, man, I think I'm gonna have to. I think your new nickname's got to be Hot Takes because I think that's one of the spiciest takes I've ever heard. That
I
is crazy. I like it,
I
but that's
I
crazy.
I literally, if even if you don't play it, if you just put Xenoblade Chronicles 3 reactions and you just see, you'll probably see a lot of people on the list crying and stuff, and just be like, I can't believe the wait, what? Trust me,
No,
like
okay,
it's now. I'm not saying it's like Final Fantasy 7 level of or anything. Final Fantasy 7 because of Aerith, the way that she died
gotcha,
and
gotcha.
stuff,
That makes
you
sense.
know.
That makes sense.
Uh, but if you watch it, you're gonna be like, wait, what? Wait, you are going to drop your jaw.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, I'm a. I like this. This is giving me motivation to try it out once again. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna report back to you with my findings. So let's go with my next draft pick here. I think on my next draft pick, I did Mario Odyssey. I did what was the
Animal
first one?
Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Those were two good ones. I'm going to probably go. Hmm. Honestly, I'm gonna go Mario Kart as well for all the reasons you said. It's just that attach rate. I think that makes complete sense. So it's the game that defines this console almost to the T. So I think that one's gonna be my third pick. What's your third?
Uh, my third was Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but my
Okay.
fourth, I could do a fourth and a fifth. My
You're
my
adding a
fourth
head to Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, because my fourth is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Whoop whoop.
Like, I'm not like when we talk about, of course, Fire Emblem Awakening, Fire Emblem Face, great games in their own. Awakening saved the series. The way people have been talking about Three Hopes, not Three Hopes, Three
Three
Houses,
houses. Mhm.
and still playing that game that it was just like, I know I finished all the houses, but I know Engage is great as it is. People have been jumping back into that game. Like
I
Kobe Tech, like,
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
I'm
I'm
right there
sorry.
with you. No, go ahead. I was
Oh,
just gonna say that
like,
I played Engage and it made me want to go right back to Three Houses because I like Three Houses a lot more than Engage.
right. And I know Engage is by Intelligence System who actually created the series. But Kobe Tecmo has done something to make everybody realize this. People were mad at Kobe Tecmo and Team Ninja because what they did with Metroid Other M.
Mhm.
Kobe Tecmo has been working on the Fire Emblem series for probably, I think, about 4 or 5 games. I think after Awakening, Kobe Tecmo started working with them, and then the board games. And because of those games being so good, and something about Three Houses got people into that series and kept them there, it it was something. The game was hard to find a week that it came out because all the physical versions were sold out everywhere. It took them 2 weeks to restock that game. That's how good Three Houses was.
Yeah, Three
And
Houses is my favorite Switch game. Like undisputedly my favorite Switch game.
so I have it. I need to go back and finish it. Uh my fifth one, and this is going to sound very weird, everybody. So just bear with me. Astro Chain,
Wow, you are Mr. Hot Takes. I like it.
because this is a original IP from Nintendo and Platinum Games,
Hmm.
and just like the way that it looks and everything, I'm like, oh my goodness! Not only is it stylish in this combat, and I loved what they did. It really knocked us out that it was a game that no one knew about. And like after it was shown, it came out 4 or 5 months later. It's just like, oh, this is low key so good. Like uh controlling the other character and you fighting, just the way that it was done. It's just so good. Now Luigi's mentioned three. I just got to get a nomination, honorable mention, because watching Toad drive a bus with the Mario characters, that little small Toad cannot see the bro, was hilarious. I'm like, for the 5 first minutes of the game, I'm just like, oh, this is game of the year right now because Toad is driving the bus and this is ridiculous. So yeah,
you
but
know, you know
go ahead.
what I'm getting at here is like Nintendo humor really speaks to you on a very, very deep level, doesn't it?
Tree, when Treehouse does the localization, they are so good. Yeah, Nintendo's humor is just very funny because sometimes it's cute, but when you think about it, sometimes you'd be like, "Oh, this is a shady moment," or "This is just like this is some good comedy, like this is some good writing," and you just don't find that sometimes in games. Like I give it up to Double Fine, and I give it up to uh Val and the team who did Portal 2. Like Portal 2, so the line delivery and the gags in there is so funny, it's so good. I understand why I got Game of the Year. But Nintendo humor, because of the writing and the dialogue, it's just so perfect. It's so good. So yeah.
That's what's
Good.
up. I like that. I like that. So, all right. So, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and round it out and say like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are probably in my Mount Rushmore. You like so just throwing that out there. So, all right. Before we go, Eddie, we have one last topic of the show, and that is, are you a pro nerd trivia portion of the show? So, for those of you who don't know, on the on the single player experience, we do a pro nerd trivia challenge. And that's where I ask our guests 5 different categories, 5 different questions, and 5 different categories of nerdiness. And if he gets all 5 correct, he will be in the Pro Nerd Hall of Fame. The record currently stands that one person, only one person in the history of the show, has earned the moniker of a Hall of Fame pro nerd. I think Eddie V is going to be the next inductee into the Hall of Fame. I feel it. I feel very confident in this. Eddie, are you confident?
I'm not confident at all. So, so everybody just get ready for a bunch of nonsense.
A bunch of nonsense, he says. Well, nay, I say nay, because I feel like Eddie is going to be ready to go. And here we go. I'm going to go to the Wheel of Destiny here on my screen on the right, and the wheel is going to dictate your fate here. So, all right. Eddie, the first question is going to be in the realm of Marvel, MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How do you feel about that?
I'm not confident once again, but I'll do my best. I'll do
Okay.
my best.
Okay. I got you. I got you. All right. So, after escaping from the US, where was Dr. Bruce Banner in hiding and working in a bottle plant? What was the location where he was hiding?
Um, he was hiding in like I wonder if it's a lab, scientific lab that he was hiding.
We're
In.
looking for a specific an area in the world. Like, what part of the world was he hiding in?
Um, the sky.
The sky? After he escaped from the US, where was Dr. Bruce Banner in hiding and working in a bottle plant?
Uh, because I have not one idea.
I feel you. I feel you. The answer is Rio de Janeiro. And if you remember, I believe it was Avengers 1, where Natty, that would be, dang, I blanked out on her name. That would be the Black Widow, went to go like hunt him down and basically like find him in the Avengers
Oh,
movie.
in the Avengers movie. Was that in the first one?
I want to say that was in the first one, right? When she was going to hunt him down he was in the chair.
Because she was on like a Russia spy. Because I think Scarlett Johansson was like in a red outfit, or is that the?
I know she was in a red outfit, I think in Iron Man 2. Like, because in that one, you remember like he was
She was like,
treating like people in South America, and she walks up and he was just like, how many, he was basically alluding to how many people did you bring with you and such like that, or is it just you?
because it was
And
like at nighttime.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of around that area. But yeah, next question. The next question. The wheel has landed on a topic that I think you might know pretty well. I have a feeling, because this topic is, so you want to be the best, like no one ever was. It is the Pokemon category.
Okay.
All right, so in Gen 1, which Pokemon, your Gen 1 very well, by the way?
Maybe. Not
Maybe.
played by ear.
All right. So, in Gen 1, what was the evolution of Jigglypuff?
A Jigglypuff. Um, did
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff ever evolve? Because I think you had to trade him. I think for him to evolve.
Um, I will tell you, I think to evolve Jigglypuff, especially in Gen 1, I think you need a Moonstone.
The Moonstone.
And I
I
think
really,
and
I,
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 I think that can be
I,
found at Mount Moon as well.
yeah, I cannot tell you because I didn't have Jigglypuff in my crew.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
uh,
0 for 2. The answer is Wigglytuff.
Wigglytuff. Okay.
Wigglytuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he was never in my crew because I had never had a use for him.
Mhm.
So that's
Left him alone, huh?
Let them alone. Yeah.
I feel ya. I feel ya. All right. The next category is in the realm of DC.
Um,
Oh no, you don't seem so confident.
I just, I would try my best.
All right, I like the attitude. All right. In the realm of DC, what who is the famous butler for Bruce Wayne?
Alfred.
Alfred, he got it correct, ladies and gentlemen. He's on the board. He's on the board. All right, so your next category is in the realm of anime.
Okay.
Anime. You feel confident about this one?
Depending on the year of it, yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. What would happen to Goku, Kid Goku specifically, when he looked at the moon?
He would turn into a monkey.
We'll take it. We will take it. The terminology is he would turn into the great ape, but I will take monkey. That is the same exact thing to
You
me.
know what? What's weird is I've never heard them use that terminology.
The great ape.
Yeah, I just seen him like he just turned into a monkey because his eyes would go red, just like Goku, and you had to cut off his tail. That's all I remember. And I wonder if it was because of early voice dubbing, like the localization of it. I think it's because of that.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, and I think a lot of the confusion about that too is because Frieza always would call them monkeys.
Yeah,
Like Frieza would go around calling them monkeys, but like I think the term for it is like great ape, technically.
Great
in that, yeah. But so you're 2 for 2 here. You've missed 2. You got 2 correct. You might win. You might leave with a winning record, and I like that for you. So we have in our bag of tricks right now. On the 5th and final question, you have an option A and an option B. You can choose your destiny here. I'm not going to tell you what category the options are, but you can choose which road you want to take. So do you want option A or option B?
option B.
Wow, that's been a popular option lately.
Really?
Option, yeah, everyone's
wow.
choosing B for some reason. It's like
I'll switch to A then.
you switch to A. You want to be different.
I'll switch to A.
You want to be different, huh? Okay. All right. So, option A is in the realm of Xbox.
Okay.
All right. So, Xbox trivia, so to speak. All right. Here we go. All right. What was Generation 2 of the Xbox? What console was Generation 2 of the Xbox family?
Xbox 360.
That is correct. You got it right.
The worst Xbox system ever made.
Wow.
And there was a thing called VentureBeat where people could come in and write articles and everything, and they would do the top 5 articles people were writing. My writing was bad. I misspelled this and stuff like that. Just before the age of editing now, and I wrote that. I think I hate the Xbox 360 or something like that, and everybody got mad at me. And I told them, I was just like, if you have a 360 and you already got through with 4 consoles because it red ring, and you have to pull a towel over it to get it to work, that's worse than the PS1 that you had to turn upside down with the CD to make it the lens read. Like, it was just, I think it was just like, I didn't like the controller. I thought Gears of War played terrible on the Xbox 360. Now I will say the Xbox One controller is better to play that game. I enjoyed it. I went in on the 360, and one of the editors at EGM, or who was at EGM / 1UP before they went all left, or before Ziff Davis closed them down and they went to VentureBeat. he was just like, I feel like hate is too strong of a word and everything. And I just got a lot of comments and stuff that people were just like, you're wrong and all of this and stuff. But the hate came from not from all the games and everything. The hate came from the design of the Xbox 360. And I was just like, you didn't get a full system to the Xbox 360 Slim, which was like the fifth version or whatever of the Xbox 360, and the Xbox One was already out. So it was just like, I have a right to, and I had apologized. I'm like, well, hate may be a strong word. I'm dissatisfied with the Xbox 360 and stuff.
That
But
makes sense.
my point still stands that I do not like a system that I'm paying $400, which I didn't buy. I would not be buying a $400 system if it's going to continue to break over and over again. And if there's a story that a kid spent almost $2,400 on on six Xbox 360s to play his games, that's terrible.
That
That
makes complete
system,
sense. I can get that.
and so I yes. So I got comments. It was a hot take of an opinion piece, but it made the top five
Hmm.
that they told like, yeah, y'all need to go and read this one. It's wild, but I understand. But the editors and people who did understand it was like, understand where you're coming from on why you hate the 360.
Hmm. It was more of the console's design than it was actually like
Yes.
the games and what it brought to the table.
Yes, because
Mhm.
that era I was Wii and PS3, and then I went Xbox One. I thought the PS4 is still to this day look like a Kit Kat bar meets meets what is that boxer with his grill? Uh
George Foreman.
George Foreman. It looked like a
Hmm.
George Foreman grill. And I was just like, the PS4 great games and everything, but I don't like this like its design and everything. So I'm just like, I'm going with Xbox One. And Xbox One gave me Ori, gave me Tomb Raider, which I love, all time classic, iconic game and everything. But the 360, just the worst.
I like that. I like that. All right. So, would you like to see the road not taken and what question you would have got if you would have went with option
Yeah,
B? Okay.
yes.
So, all right. So, option B was in video game soundtracks. Video game soundtracks. All
Okay.
right. So, the question would have been, this game, known for its very, very hip hop like sounding video game soundtrack, was a GTA like clone featuring artists such as Snoop Dogg, Warren G, Ice Cube, the DOC, and Mac 10. The game even allowed the player to unlock Snoop as a secret character and let him roll around in the open world. This game was lauded for its soundtrack, had all those rappers in it, and I will tell you, came out around the GameCube, PS2, and original Xbox generation. What game is this?
And it was an open world GTA
It was an
game
open world GTA like clone.
clone.
So not
Um,
not a GTA game.
it would have been True Crime.
Yes, you're right. True Crimes, Streets of LA.
Hey, yeah,
Hmm.
because that was the only other open world game. Saints Row wasn't out yet. Um, Snoop Dogg was supposed to do, I think, part two. But I think that ended up getting turned to something else. And then later on, uh, did True Crime did True Crime Part Two ever come out? No,
Yeah,
that got turned.
no, True Crime Streets of New York. There was like
It was
True Crime Streets of LA and there was True Crimes New York City.
New York City. Okay,
Yeah.
because then end up True Crime ended up turning into Sleeping Dogs, where Square Enix brought the series, so they had to change the name. And
Hmm.
then everybody loves Sleeping Dogs, but the game sold 1 million. It did very well, but Square Enix wasn't satisfied, so we didn't get Sleeping Dogs 2.
I'd love to get into their Sleeping Dogs. I'd love for an indie studio right now to give me something very much like Sleeping Dogs right now.
Well, if so, it's up to I gotta find out if the Embracing Group brought it.
Mhm.
Because when Square Enix was selling all these developers and IP, I don't know if Sleeping Dogs actually got sold.
I
Because if
bet it
it did it,
was.
because that's the thing about it. Sleeping Dogs is probably the best. Like a crime open world game is the best, with Saints Row 3 being second.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
So Saints Row 3, my favorite moment of that game is like when you're parachuting down onto a skyscraper and Kanye West's Power is just going in the background and you're just like, where it's like, hey, hey, and you're just like falling down and it's like, oh, this is so cool.
No, mine is when you having a party and the hoe will start shooting at you. You say, these hoes ain't real hoes. That had me on the floor dying. I'm just like, what is this bunkers gang? I was just like, when he said these hoes ain't real hoes, I was just like, this is top tier writing. I cracked up. I understand the power thing, yeah, that one was good. But that party part, I was just like, oh my, every time it comes up, I bust out laughing.
Oh, I forgot about that part. That is so good. That is so good. It almost makes me want to play that game again.
Yeah.
Almost. But yeah. Eddie V, before we go though, one last little segment. Do you have any words of inspiration that you'd like to share to the people today?
Yes. Well, everybody, I know a lot of things are going on in the world, like with our trans people and everything, and a lot of bills and stuff. But I just want to say, people uplift your trans community, you know, really truly be an ally for them because it's really important in this time. They're seen more for their sexuality than they are seen as being human beings. And we just got to keep in mind that they are human beings, and we want to love and support that community and fight against the bills that uh a lot of politicians are putting and stuff. um so just want to say that, and just start, continue to treat people with love and respect and everything. We really, that's what we truly, really need at this time, uh, and everything. And, you know, I know there's not been a lot of discourse with games and stuff, but enjoy, when people post something that they love a game, truly support them that they love the game. I know like Hogwarts Legacy and Atomic Heart has been controversial, but if people are really enjoying it and loving it, just you could just leave a simple, oh, that's cool, and keep it moving if you want to. I'm like, we just really need to be more positive around people we meet online and social media, and in real life. And
Yeah, I
yeah,
like that. I like that.
yeah.
So,
That's not. Oh, I was about to
oh,
say, last but not least, go play some arcade games. Go find an arcade and get into some
go play
arcade games.
arcade. You're encouraging people to go out and play the arcade. I feel you. I
Yes.
feel you. What would you play the arcade right now?
Oh, if I was in the arcade right now, I probably would be playing Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Okay, that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. All right, so Ed, we're wrapping up this episode. Where can the good people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. You can also check me out at bossrush.net. Check out our Discord at Boss Rush Media there. And check out Nintendo Power Block on Boss Rush Media on YouTube and our other shows there. You can catch me. If you want to listen to Optional Opinion, it is on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify or other podcast apps. And you can check out some of my old work there. And like I said, you can check out my writing at bossrush.net. I have some stuff like game reviews. I have some editorials that make people think. You know, um, and yeah, just go check all that stuff out. And we do have a store on Boss Rush, so you go to bossrush.net and check out our store there for our merchandise.
Okay, okay. What's the coolest merchandise piece of merchandise in your opinion?
I got my Pride hoodie.
Hmm.
So that says Bushfish Network, and then it's the rainbows and stuff. So I got a Pride hoodie.
Okay.
I truly love that one.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Is that the one you probably wear the most?
Yes. Yeah. And then we got some new stuff out, but it's not ready to go just yet.
Okay,
I, s-
okay.
I,
So
I see some ideas that Corey's been sending me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
okay, so you got some fire ones coming down the pipeline then.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. So, all the links to everything that he just said will be in the description of this episode. So definitely click on that. Go support them at Boss Rush. They're doing incredible work. I happen to be on a couple of their shows. They're really great people, amazing cast of people, and I would, I love working with them. But gonna hope to work with them more so in the future because they're absolutely amazing. They're absolutely killing it. So, Ed, I loved having you on the show. Can't wait to have you back. We're going to probably have to have you back when Pigman comes out. We're going to have your when all the new Nintendo games come out. We're probably just going to have to like
Yes.
collab and do some more collaborations there. But in the meanwhile, I really want to thank you for being on the show. It's really been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I truly enjoyed this experience.
Yeah, man, it's been so fun. And it's been so fun. All right, so before we go, Ed, thank you again. I'm going to definitely hit you up because I'm going to need more snack recommendations. I'm going to try to get outside my wheelhouse there. And everyone, go join the Discord and hit him up and ask him all for all the snack recommendations. This man got all kinds of crazy ideas. So definitely check him out there. Ed, it is time to wrap things up. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Also, for more videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right here. Thanks again for watching the video, and for more like it, stay right here at the Pro Nerd Report channel. So that's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one. I also want to let you know about the Single Player Experience Discord server. It's a perfect place for single player gamers to talk about the good single player games that they've been playing lately and to get video game recommendations. Think of it kind of like a book club for single player gamers. The link to join will be in the description. Once you're in, feel free to share your video game backlog list, talk about the good single player games you've been playing, or give your feedback on the show. If you have a game you think it should be recommended and should be reviewed, let me know about it right there. Before we go, I just want to thank you once again for listening to today's episode. Stay safe, stay gaming, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.